Back with us tonight, Michael Osterholm, the director of the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy, University of Minnesota. He was also a COVID advisor to the Biden transition team as they were taking ownership of this pandemic, you might say. And Michael, first and foremost, I want to hear you out on this oral medication, this pill from Merck. There's a concern already that it's going to be seen as some kind of vaccine substitute. It is not. But what is it? What might it do? And how optimistic are you?
Well, first of all, it's good news. It's actually the first of what will be several drugs coming out that are a simple pill, what we call small molecule drugs. And in this case, in the Merck study, it was actually halted early because the results were so impressive. It cut down those individuals who might very well be hospitalized because of their illness by over 50%. And among the group that took the drug, no one died. Among the placebo group, the group that got the inert product, 8 people died. So it's also likely to have some real impact on deaths. But as you alluded to, we're very concerned about the fact that, first of all, this drug will not even be available really till towards the end of the year. And second of all is the fact that it's not a substitute for vaccines. We need to get people vaccinated. And just as we've seen recently with this issue with ivermectin, this drug that does not have any benefit in treating COVID-19, and yet they're to say, well, I'll just get this drug if, in fact, I get infected.
So clearly the stock market celebrated this. Groups like casinos and hotels and airlines all rallied. How do you see this antiviral pill being used, and how fast can we get there?
Well, this is certainly an important advance. There's no doubt about that. Whenever you have an orally administered medical intervention that directly attacks the virus and has the kind of data that Merck announced with their announcement, where they had a 50% decrease in the hospitalization. The trial was designed to be given to people early in the course of infection. It's an orally administered drug that's really very important. It was compared to a placebo, and the endpoint that does it reduce the risk of hospitalization or death. The results are really quite good. Importantly, in the placebo group, there were 8 deaths, and in the treatment drug group, there was 0 deaths. So that adds a bit more of an importance to the study.
The country will soon pass another grim number, 700,000 Americans who have died from COVID and related complications. The best way to stop the spread and prevent infection are vaccines, of course. But throughout the pandemic, there have not been many helpful or easy treatment options once people become infected. Now, as William Brangham reports, a new antiviral drug from Merck offers hope for keeping patients with COVID-19 out of the hospital and alive.
That's right, Judy. The only information we have about this drug comes from Merck itself. Federal regulators and regulators abroad haven't seen any of their data. But an independent board reviewing the drug's initial trial said it should be stopped early because results were so promising. The company is now seeking approval for widespread use.
Just as we've seen recently with this issue with ivermectin, this drug that does not have any benefit in treating COVID-19, and yet they're to say, well, I'll just get this drug if, in fact, I get infected.